Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 1 preview between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Saints.
Sean Payton returns, and he bought a new defensive coordinator with him and Rob Ryan, who's moving the Saints defense to a 50 front. Now the jury is still out on whether or not it will be a success, but it's a step in the right direction. This week versus the Atlanta Falcons, the focus should be on how can they match up versus those outstanding wide receivers and tight ends that they bring to the table. That's going to be the biggest test, in my opinion, more so than stopping the run this week. And offensively, the Saints won't miss a beat as long as Drew Brees is under center. However, more focus should be on developing balance within that offense with that running game. You have Mark Ingram, Pierre Thomas, Darren Sproles. Those are your running backs. You have to find a way to maximize their talents. Now let's move on to the Falcons in this ballgame. They're a very dangerous football team that can create a lot of matchup problems for any defense. This game, however, they have to come in and control the tempo. Now, whether that's fast-paced or chewing up the TOP, they have to dictate. Knowing the Saints will attempt to apply pressure often, the screen game needs to be in effect with those running backs. And defensively, pressure bust pipes, and the Falcons have a talented secondary that can make plays on the ball, but they need that front four to cause disruption for that Saints offense. So you look at O.C. Umenyiora, Troy Bierman, those guys having big games will be vital to team success this week. Now let's go inside the lab to take a look at some X's and O's for both teams in this matchup.
New Orleans Saints also have unique personnel at the tight end position. When you look at what they bring to the table with Ben Watson, a veteran, a guy that also excels in run blocking, as well as Jimmy Graham, one of the better receiving tight ends in the league. And this is how they can open up the football game or open up a drive or their backed up offense versus the Atlanta Falcons, showing double tight end sets, a run formation, but taking a big shot deep down the field. The Saints have done this a lot over the course of the years. We call this openers. This is how you open up a ball game. We're going to put the Saints in an I formation. We're going to have Ben Watson here because he's your better blocker. We're going to put Jimmy Graham out wide. That's going to dictate coverage. You're either going to get a safety or a linebacker. Either way, you're going to be wrong. You can't put a cornerback on him. And we're going to put a wide receiver opposite here. This could be Colston. This could be Lance Moore, or even one of the rookies, Nick Toon or Kenny Stills. However they want to utilize this, my guess is going to be someone that's going to give the illusion of this is a running play. So probably Marcus Colston. This is going to be a big play for him. And what we're going to see here, we're going to see a fake dive, fake belly. Drew Brees is going to open out, and he's going to have either the choice of setting up right here, 1, waggling out to set up here outside of the tackle, 2, or just keep rolling out and hitting the crosser, because we're going to have Ben Watson work his way across the field. We're going to bring the backside guard to lead Drew Brees around and be that front side protection. As the two backs are blocking backside, we have the backside post, and we have Jimmy Graham streaking down the sideline. So this is a great play versus a team when you're backed up on offense, or when you're opening a drive, or when you're giving that illusion versus run. Because think about it, you're bringing in 2 tight ends and a bigger wide receiver. The defense is going to think this is a running play, and now it's a big play that you can hit deep down the field because you have unique talent at tight end with Jimmy Graham and Ben Watson, and also Marcus Colston, who's a lighter tight end, aka wide receiver, big wide receiver. But this is how the Saints can have some success versus the Falcons in their openers. That's beginning of the drive, that's coming out of the halftime break, or starting a new quarter. They can have some success utilizing their double tight end sets. I'm a big fan of what the Falcons bring to the table in their receiving core. I love that personnel, and I think if they go empty in certain situations versus the Saints, they can stretch out that defense and thin these guys out. I'm going to show you right here how they can go 5 wide in certain situations and be successful. So we're going to put Matt Ryan in a gun by himself. We're going to add a blocking tight end here. We're going to put Tony Gonzalez on this side. We'll tell you that in a minute. Put Harry Douglas over here in the slot. We're also going to put Julio Jones on the inside and Roddy White on the outside. We're going to also draw up the Saints 3-4 defense, their new 3-4 defense with Rob Ryan. We're going to have your backers out here. Tackle, nose, tackle, backer, 2 inside guys. We're going to put the corner offset, free safety on this way. Strong safety aligned evenly with Julio Jones. Cornerback sitting slightly off. So that's your 3-4 defense. Now, we're going to show you the different route combinations they can run. Well, the one route combination they can run to have some success. Pre-snap, you want to send Harry Douglas in motion across the formation. And you want to snap the football when he gets on the outside leg of this tight end. We're not going to send this tight end out in a route. He's your blocking tight end. He's your contained defender because we're sending Matt Ryan on a half waggle. So he's going to get some space, set up right here, and make the throw. Now we're going to show you where his reads are going to be. As we put Harry Douglas in motion, you're going to see the cornerback shift to maybe set up here. Free safety is going to shift over to get better aligned. And this is how they could have some success versus the Saints. You want to send Tony Gonzalez up, and he's going to run a 12-yard in route, thus occupying these backers. Harry Douglas, at the snap of the ball, he's running that quick out. And honestly, that's your built-in hot read for Matt Ryan. If he sees his cornerback squatting on this route, then he's going to hit Roddy White. Roddy White is running a post corner. If he's sitting in zone or if he's following him, then he's going to hit the post corner. Julio Jones is running directly at the chest of that strong safety and break into the middle. Now, here's the reads for Matt Ryan. If he sees this free safety going to smash down on this in route, he has to hit Julio Jones, who's streaking down the middle of the field. He has the speed to take the top out of the defense, and he can definitely beat a strong safety one-on-one. Now, if he reads this right cornerback, if this cornerback is sitting underneath, drifting underneath that post corner, then you want to hit your speed out to Harry Douglas. If he squats down here and try to take away this first read, you have Roddy White going to the corner. So I think the Falcons can widen out that Saints defense with their 5 wide receiver set. They have the personnel. The Saints don't have enough corners to match up. And if they put the backers out there, then they definitely can have some success throwing the football versus New Orleans this weekend.
Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this matchup. For the Falcons, you look at their center, Peter Kahns, owning the point of attack. That's crucial when you're facing a team that runs a 3-4. You have to get that nose tackle block. If he can accomplish that, whether it's Bunkley or even John Jenkins, the rookie, that's going to open up the running game and also give Matt Ryan more time back there in the pocket. And you want to spread the Saints out. The Falcons have the personnel to stay in a 3 or 4 wide receiver set, sometimes empty. We talked about that earlier. If they can do that, it widens out that defense and forces those nickel and dime corners to get on the field, and that way they can take advantage of the individual matchups. And they have to get physical with Jimmy Graham. He's a guy you can beat up at the line of scrimmage, whether he's in line or flexed out as a receiver. Beat him up at the line of scrimmage. Don't allow him a free release to get down the seam. Now for the Saints in this ball game, you want to minimize Roman Harper's coverage responsibilities. You want to keep him on the field for obvious running situations. He's an excellent run defender, but his pass coverage skills leave a lot to be desired. Minimize his responsibilities, and you could get the most out of Roman Harper. And look for a 52-48 pass-to-run ratio. That's enough balance for the Saints. They have to be able to run the football in order for that play-action pass to be effective. And both of the outside linebackers, Martez Wilson and Junior Gillette, are going to have to own the tackles of the Atlanta Falcons. They have to be able to put pressure on that passing game. Otherwise, it could be a long day. The X factor for the Saints will be safety Kenny Vaccaro. They drafted him for this specific reason. He's a player that can match up well versus wide receivers, bigger wide receivers, and also tight ends. So you may see him all across the formation, all across the defense this week versus the Falcons, as they do provide some intriguing matchups across the board. The X factor for the Atlanta Falcons will be their running back, Steven Jackson. I just made the case for Kenny Vaccaro being brought in for a specific reason. So was Steven Jackson. They want to get a little bit more explosive and a little bit more versatile in the backfield. And despite his age, he still can get the job done running the football as well as catching it out of the backfield. I like the Saints in this ballgame. When you have two teams that have explosive offenses like the Saints and the Falcons, you have to ask yourself which team can run the football effectively, and I have to side with New Orleans in this matchup. I believe blitzing Matt Ryan will force that football to come out a little quicker, and the Saints can rally up and make a tackle, but expect a lot of points to be scored in this ballgame, and it'll probably come down to who can outpossess the other team. So I think the Saints will be able to make that one stop that's needed to get the ball back for their offense. And I want to send a shout out to the Saint, and I also want to give a huge shout out to Saint fan forums and Falcon fan forums for always showing football game plan support.